Good morning. This is Ms. Billerback, and we're going to talk about 11.3 equation of a straight line. So the main equation we're going to talk about during chapter 11 is slope-intercept or gradient-intercept form. The popular name is slope-intercept, so you may see gradient-intercept written in there. So probably should put a little dash here. Okay, so what that looks like is what we've been talking about this whole time, y equals mx plus b. So m is how it changes, b is where it starts. So we can determine this equation when we know two things, or in two different ways. So if we know the slope and 1 point, we can find the equation, or if we know 2 points. So today we're going to explore how we can create an equation mathematically with just those two things. So let's find an equation of the line with a slope of 2/5 passing through the origin. So we know that the slope m is 2/5, and the other point that we have passing is 0, 0. So that gives us a point x and y. So if we have y equals, and we can put 2/5 x plus b, and at 0, 0, so y is 0. So this is x and y. So y is 0 at 2/5, and x is 0 plus b. So we have 0 equals 0 plus b, so b has to be 0, okay? So b is 0. So that means that our equation is then going to be y equals 2/5 x. All right, so if we have line CD, it slopes -7. So m is -7, and it passes through 0, 8. So we have x and a y. So we're going to write for the y, 8 equals, then we have -7, and then for the x, we're going to put in 0 plus b. So that becomes 8 equals, and -7 times 0 is 0 plus b, so b equals 8. So now we can write the equation in slope-intercept, y equals -7x plus 8. And there we have it. All right, now if we have a slope of -1/2 and it passes through 4, 1, so we have x and y. So we put in the 1 for the y equals, and we have -1/2. I guess I don't need parentheses there. So -1/2 times the 4 for the x plus b, because we don't know the y-intercept. So we have 1 equals, and half of 4 is 2, so we have -2 plus b. We're going to have to use an additive inverse to isolate b, so we add 2 to both sides. So this gives us 3 equals b. So now we have the equation y equals, our slope is -1/2 x plus 3. And there you have it. Okay. Now we want to find the equation of a line passing through 2 points. So we have this point and this point. So first we want to find out, well, what is the slope? So we use the equation m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now it doesn't matter which one's x1 or y1. but I'm just going to label this one x1, y1 because it's there, and x2, y2. So m equals, my y2 is -1 minus 3 over, and then 2 minus a -2. So that gives me -4 on top, and on the bottom I have 2, and then 2 negatives make a positive, so it's 2 plus 2 on the bottom, which is 4. Well, this reduces to -1. So now that I have the slope, I can just pick either one of these points to solve for the equation. So I'm going to use this one, so I'm going to say 3 equals, the slope is -1, my x is -2 for this point, plus b. So this is 3 equals a -1 times -2 is +2 plus b. I subtract the 2 from both sides, and I get 1 equals b. Okay, because 3 minus 2 is 1. So my equation then is going to be y equals -1x plus 1, but we don't write a 1 or a -1 in front of a variable, so we would write y equals -x plus 1, and that would be our equation. And we can quickly check with the second point. So -1 equals, and then -2 plus 1, which is -1. So that checks. All right, so let's find the slope for this one. So let's mix it up, and let's say this one was the second point, just to be all tricky and stuff. Okay, so y2 is 5 minus 5 over -4 minus a -1. Well, this gives us 0 over, and we have -4 plus 1, which is 0 over -3, but that's just 0. Well, when the slope is 0, we know something about it. What do we know? We know that it has no slope. It's not undefined, so it's like that road where your pencil does not roll one way or the other. It's the road that is flat, the horizontal road. Your car can just be parked without the emergency brake. Okay, so that gives us no slope. So when we do that, we can choose one of these points. Either one will do. So let's choose this point. So we have the y is 5 equals 0 for the slope times -4 plus b. So that's 5 equals 0 plus b. So we have 5 equals b. So when we put the equation together, we have y equals 0 times x plus 5. But 0 times x is 0, so we have y equals 5. And that's the equation of a horizontal line that looks like this. So we have y x. So when y is 5 here, we have a horizontal line going like that. And that's why y equals 5. So y is always 5, no matter what x is. Okay? So it's a little counterintuitive that a horizontal line is y equals 5, but the vertical axis is the axis of y. Okay, so that's why it's counterintuitive. Okay. So the equation of a straight line L, and we were given 2x minus 3y plus 4 equals 0. So we want to have y isolated. So let's take that, and we have 2x minus 3y plus 4 equals 0. Well, let's just put the y over by itself on the other side by using an additive inverse. So we have 2x plus, and that zeroes out, and then plus 4 equals 3y. Now I just want y, so I'm going to have to use a multiplicative inverse to get rid of that 3 in front of the y. So I'm going to divide by everything by 3. So what that does is it makes this just y. So now we can write our equation y equals 2/3 x, because we have 2/3 x, and then plus 4/3. Okay, so it says, what is the slope? Well, the slope is 2/3. And the y-intercept, if we write this as a coordinate, the y-intercept happens when x is 0, and then y is 4/3. Okay, or if you don't like improper fractions, you can write 0 and 1 and 1/3. Okay, so that would be the y-intercept. All right, that's it for section 11.3. You have an amazing day. Bye-bye.